wrapper isn't even real beef, but a lab-made mix of soy fillers, chemical binders, and scraps scraped off bones in foreign processing plants. In 2023, the USDA documented over 500 violations tied to tainted or undercooked ground beef, many from the very chains Americans trust the most. And here's the gut punch. Some of these patties contained less than 60% beef. The rest cheap additives designed to fool your taste buds while draining your health. For older Americans already fighting high blood pressure, heart issues, or diabetes. One bad burger isn't just lunch, it's a potential hospital trip, another round of medication, or worse. So why are these companies still smiling at you from billboards while gambling with your health? This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. Today, we expose 8 burger chains still feeding millions every day with something they dare to call beef: Wendy's. Wendy's almost like an old neighbor who waves from his porch every evening, reassuring you that everything's fine. Grandpa Dave's warm smile, the pigtail-wearing cartoon girl, and those homely slogans, old-fashioned hamburgers. Fresh, never frozen paint a picture of honest Midwestern comfort. It sells the idea that you're eating something wholesome, something made with care. But peel back that folksy charm, and what you find isn't kindness or care. It's a slick machine that values speed and cost far more than honesty. And here's the question no one wants to ask out loud: how much of that homey promise is just marketing fairy dust sprinkled over industrial shortcuts? Take that famous fresh, never frozen line. It sounds good enough to print on a family recipe card, but in reality, it's closer to a punchline. In 2022, a class action lawsuit in New York accused Wendy's of false advertising, with evidence showing that plenty of beef patties are frozen during shipment and storage, especially at franchise locations far from supply hubs. Leaked supplier documents even admitted that frozen shipments were routine for East Coast markets. So unless you live in Ohio, where Wendy's headquarters sits like a self-policing sheriff, your fresh burger might have taken a frosty vacation before hitting the grill. Fresh may be in commercials. For the rest of us, good luck. And what happens when supplies run thin? Corners get cut, and those cuts get served on a bun. Whistleblowers in multiple states admitted that workers were told to reheat leftover patties from earlier shifts. In one viral TikTok from 2023, later deleted under company pressure, an employee from Ohio filmed herself spritzing dried-out patties with water before microwaving them for dinner orders. Her caption nailed it: "This ain't fresh, it's Frankenstein." Hard to argue with that when your burger squeaks like a wet sponge, even when it's technically fresh. Wendy's manages to serve you something your doctor might call a health scare disguised as lunch. Consumer Advocacy Watchdog ranked it among the worst national chains for sodium content in 2024, with some burgers packing over 1,200 milligrams, enough to make your blood pressure monitor beep like a car alarm. The Baconator, that glorified heart attack in a wrapper, delivers 63 grams of fat and close to 1,500 calories when paired with fries and a drink. That's not a meal. That's a slow-motion ambulance ride waiting for an excuse. And don't be fooled by the "we care" image. In 2023, a Texas franchisee was fined $120,000 for wage theft after employees, 2 of them over 65, were forced to work unpaid overtime. One woman who dared to report it to HR was fired at Wendy's. Care isn't about people. It's about keeping quiet while flipping another patty. Ethics. Let's just say the braids on that cartoon girl don't hide much. Wendy's is still the only major fast food chain refusing to sign the Fair Food Program, an initiative to protect farm workers from abuse. McDonald's signed it, Taco Bell signed it, but Wendy's called it a supply chain issue, which sounds a lot like cheap tomatoes matter more than the human beings who pick them. Many of those workers are elderly and undocumented, breaking their backs for the tomatoes Wendy's calls premium. So, the next time you see Grandpa Dave's smiling face on your soda cup, ask yourself, is that really a symbol of quality, or just a mask covering freezer-burned beef, microwaved leftovers, exploited workers, and a sodium count that could rattle your chest like a loose engine belt? It doesn't have to be this way. Shake Shack is serving antibiotic-free Angus beef in open kitchens where you can watch every step, while the Habit Burger Grill on the West Coast char grills each burger to order with fresh produce that doesn't need a fine print health warning, because at Wendy's, the only square thing might be the patty, everything else spins in a perfectly round loop of frozen deception and corporate doublespeak.